The Gift of the Magi. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. And when they had come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. When they had opened their treasures, they presented gifts to him: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Matthew 2, verses 10 and 11. We know it wasn't a house. It should be carefully noted that it was outsiders who seemed most excited by the birth of Christ. Humble shepherds received the first announcement ahead of the dignitaries in Jerusalem, and the wise men from the east, foreigners, seemed more attuned to the nuances of Bible prophecy than those whom the prophecies had been given. How did the wise men come to discover the messianic prophecies? We can only guess. But there is at least an even chance that the influence of Daniel may have had something to do with it. Again, speculation on the author's part. The scene that unfolds in Herod's palace when the wise men arrive is tragic. Outsiders discovered that those who had been given the gift of God's covenant were not only ignorant of the prophecies they had found so thrilling, but felt personally threatened by the arrival of the long-awaited King of Heaven. Well, the power structure in Jerusalem would be threatened, but they were attached to Rome. But the Jews were looking for a savior to overthrow the Romans. The tragedy, I would submit, was that they were looking in the wrong place. Before the story is over, God has to warn them in a dream not to return to the palace. It is a lesson for the church. So many eye the outside world with suspicion while squandering the gifts they have been given. We use spiritual gifts to entertain and enrich ourselves, and sometimes we find newcomers who are usually enthusiastic about their newfound faith, a threat to the status quo. Well, if you're only self-serving, then you serve nothing and no one. So theoretically, a congregation would be dead at that point, no matter their congregational numbers or their tithe base. They're a dead church because they don't do anything except run in a circle. Occasionally, you will hear someone wistfully hope that the new people will eventually settle down and get used to life in the church. What did I just say? Over the years, however, the most vibrant churches are the ones that go out of their way to seek God's children and welcome them home. They have become keenly aware of the fact that God has many children who are still not home, many of whom are already faithful believers, more so than we are. When those people arrive in our midst, they provide us with a powerful reminder that spiritual gifts are not ours to keep, but a God-given opportunity to give something back to Jesus. Like the wise men of old, they enthusiastically embrace the mission of the church, throw themselves into the work, and give their very best in service to the Lord who gave so much for them. May we follow such wise men to the manger and remind ourselves why God has placed us in the church.